Hello, Mike is here. Today, we're going to talk about how we can write an MCP server with Node.js and TypeScript that talks to a SQL database, takes our request in a human language, and gets data from the database and outputs it as JSON. And we'll also see how powerful an LM can become with an MCP server. And for this example, we'll assume a role of a wine merchant who keeps data in a SQLite database. And the data is split between two tables. One of them is wine, where we can see ID, name, type, red, sparkling, white, price. And finally, daily orders that for every day and for every time we have certain orders, like four bottles of this one bottle of this one, two of this one. So, without much further ado, let's register ourselves with Clots. I'm adding this MCP server to its config. I'm gonna start Clot right now, and we should see that we have our wine recipe, but it doesn't have any tools. And for brevity, I'm going to copy and paste the code from my blog, where you can actually read it at your leisure time. But when I'm doing that, I'm also going to provide like some simple explanation. So in this case, what we do is we create a tool called list wines. We provide a description so that LLM can identify when it needs to call, and we just returning data from the database and putting it here. So let's run it. I'm gonna refresh Clot. We should see that our list of wines we are selling is here. So I'm gonna ask it which wine do we sell, and Clot will do its magic. It will figure out that we need to call our newly created MCP tool. Here we are. It's got this JSON data, and Claude, as usual, instead of presenting it as is, tried to structure it. It said like it's Bordeaux, a premium Bordeaux, yada yada yada. And what I find interesting is there are a lot of wine I never heard about. There is this Opus one. So can we get more information about it? Because we have it in our database, don't we? But so far we only return ID and name. Well, let's try and create another tool which will give more information about it. Again, I'm just going to copy and paste it from my blog and get you more information on each wine. So here we are. Server register tool, and there we go. We just do select star. And I just need to import that for the schema. The main difference right now is this tool has got an input schema, so we're asking for an ID to be provided by an LLM. Because Cloud did not have the tool when we ran it, I'm going to refresh it, and we're gonna see, we have another tool here, get wine by ID. And I'm gonna ask it right now, give me more information on Opus. And let's see what Claude is gonna do in this case. So that's what's happening right now is super magical, because we just said, give me more information on Opus. I did not write its full name, like Opus 1 2018. But it figured it out from the previous response from its own context. Moreover, it realized it needs to call a tool called get wine by ID, even though I didn't ask, give me more information on 3D111, blah, blah, blah. I asked it, give me by the name. So Claude went into its context, into the previous JSON data, retrieved an ID from there, passed it, and gave me more parameters. Okay, let's go a bit further, because we have sales data. Why don't we analyze it? Now, I'm going to, again, copy and paste an update to this function, and gonna update my tool here. And we'll see what's gonna happen. The main difference is we just returning sales data now, and the sales data comes from joining the table. So, because we also said that the tool now returns sales data, I need to refresh Claude so that it knows it. And among the list of wine, we also sell Opus and Dom Perignon. So I'm going to ask Claude, what sells better, Opus or Dom? And let's see what it's going to do. So, and like what we see right now is truly magical. We ask the question, what sells better, Opus and Dom? And what Claude did, it called the same endpoint get1 by ID twice, once for each wine. First, pass an ID of Opus. Secondly, pass an ID of Dom Perignon. And at the end, it allowed it to compare sales data. So this is really phenomenal because with just two very simple and even limited MCP tools, one which gives us a list of wine, and the second which gives us information about each individual wine, we're able to get Claude to compare those wines and compare the sales performance. We didn't write any other MCP tools which would give a list of sales data, which would give ability to compare. No, we didn't do it. Claude let us compare it with very simple tools. We can even go a bit further and ask Claude, draw this on a pie chart. And it will write code with JavaScript and React, and it will check our data there, and it will build a beautiful chart. And I realize what we are talking right now goes beyond building MCP service with Node and TypeScript, but it just highlights the advantages of MCP servers and how they can really augment LLMs. And that's basically it. What I want to say, you can find more of this code in my blog with a bit more details. You can find it on GitHub, you can play with it. One thing I didn't exactly cover in this video, and I'm just going to do right now, is the fact that we are returning structured data as text, by calling JSON stringify. That's actually done because of the backward compatibility. The protocol mandates that we return it as such. However, we can also specify the output schema using ZOTs, and we can return it as a structured content. Okay, thank you for watching. Thank you so much, and I really find like MCP fascinating. Thank you. Bye.